my whole methodology is based on the concept that I think people get the whole savings and investing strategy wrong typically. So the vast majority of people who follow the traditional financial planner planned out strategy of saving for retirement and investing it in a 401k or IRA or just in mutual funds, the whole point of that, if you think about it, is the thought process that you're buying something today that's going to be worth a whole bunch more later on. And hopefully you're going to accumulate enough to where when you leave your job at 65 years old, it's going to support you the rest of your life. And a lot of people start that process thinking, well, yeah, but I'll accelerate it and I'll get to financial freedom early. If I can just save a whole bunch more money, I'll get to financial freedom at 35 or 45 or whatever their goal is. And in this program that I was talking about, the people I'm working with, I thought it was going to be a lot of people who were younger and wanting to accumulate cash flow. But what I've found is that the vast majority of people I've worked with are people who have followed that traditional investing path. And now they're 40, 45 years old. They're doing really well. I mean, they're working, a lot of people I work with are super successful. Doctors working at big tech companies, attorneys, engineers. But what the place that they're at in their life is now they're halfway through their career. They've worked super hard and they realize that now they're on this path that they have to just continue working until they're 65. They haven't been able to save their way into financial freedom. Their lifestyle has grown with their savings, with their salary. And so they haven't spent time with their kids like they wanted to. They haven't been able to travel. They want to do other things, but they're trapped in this system that was designed to get them to a place of retirement at 65 and live off that. So my whole philosophy is based on the thought process that I think it's sort of a waste to invest a dime into building net worth or equity instead of focusing all your investing capital on building cash flow until you get to a place of financial freedom. So if you have it, if you're going to be investing $100,000, you can put it in your retirement or mutual funds and wait for it to accumulate, or you could put it in a cash flowing asset that's going to pay you $1,000 or multiple $1,000s per month if it's a really solid short-term rental. And now you're that much closer to freedom. And if you do that, replicate that just a few times, now all of a sudden you can go to work because you want to, or you don't have to anymore. And you've got assets that are going to support you for the rest of your life. So if you do that at 35, now all of a sudden you've got 30 years that you just freed up of your life just by accumulating a handful of these cash flowing assets instead of putting it into these things that you're hoping someday will be worth a whole lot more down the road. But it's not giving you any giving you any freedom in your life. So
isn't that the chicken or the egg though? I mean, when it comes to cash flow, don't you need some equity? You need some capital it's like buying like a dividend portfolio. You need to dump a ton of money into, you need a couple $1 million worth of dividend stocks before. So how do you find, I'm sorry to cut you off there, but even when it comes to real estate, for cash flowing, you actually accumulate like long-term rentals, you need quite a few doors before you can get that cash flow.
Yeah. So my investing, what I personally, and I've gone through almost every type of investing out there in real estate over the last 12 years, did a lot of flips, did, wholesaling, did long-term rentals. What I've landed on is these utilitarian style short-term rentals. So they're in very affordable areas, very low-cost areas, typically throughout the Midwest and Southeast, outside of larger cities, but still have access to a larger city. And you can buy these properties for a fraction. So the same property probably in the downtown area would be double or triple what you can buy at 20 minutes outside of the city. But the nightly rates, if you're buying in an area where there's local draws and there's any sort of population, typically the nightly rate might only be 10, 20, 30% less than right downtown in the city. So the ROI and the cash flow on these properties is just mind-boggling in some cases. And I also focus on small multi-units. So you get 3 streams of income on one low-cost property. And so the cash flow is phenomenal.